Hi everyone, it's Neil Patel, and today's another day of LinkedIn Unlocked, where I break down how to generate more followers, turn those business connections into leads and customers. And today we're going to be breaking down the third lesson of the week, which is B2B versus B2C. You can, in theory, use LinkedIn for a little bit of both. Now, if you haven't caught up with the previous lessons, you can go to neilpatel.com/training, click on LinkedIn Unlocked, and that's where you'll find the previous two lessons. Now, before we get started, you have to ask yourself, are you in the B2B space or B2C space? And how to market in each, because that'll help you generate more sales. And we'll discuss, as I mentioned today, B2B versus B2C and how you can use LinkedIn for both of them. So selling B2C includes lower price points, shorter sales cycles, fewer decision makers, selling direct to the consumer. 95% of your sales would typically happen on your site or your platform or in sales, and usually don't have too much interaction with people. Selling on B2B is a little bit different. It's wholesale, distributions, large chain retailers, you're selling to organizations, much longer sales cycle, higher price points, and typically 80+% of the time, you're going to be having to go through salespeople. Since we've already covered marketing in the B2C space in the last few modules, this time around, we're going to be focusing on B2B. Now, granted, it works for B2C, but it's more effective in B2B, and in general, it's just a really popular social network that everyone should be using. So let's take a look at the typical B2B model. Well, in business to business, they could buy on your website, which is a fraction of the people, but in most cases, you're going to get a lead that turns into a discovery call. If the discovery call is qualified, it then goes into a strategic plan or a presentation, and then from there, it usually goes into a decision meeting. There's a lot of steps in between these 5 boxes, but that's usually how it ends up playing out, and your sales cycle could be 6 months, could be 1 year, it could be 2 months or 3 months or even 2 weeks. But you'll find that there's a lot of different steps within these boxes. And the longer the sales cycle, the more follow-ups, the more calls you'll have. So with your call preparation, you need a goal for you. Your goal is to receive lead or confirm appointment. You want to match the prospect to ideal buyer profile. Is the lead a qualified lead? What's their website? What's their budget? How many employees do they have? How big is that organization? Do they need the product or service that you're offering? You want to understand their business because that'll help you determine if they're a good fit or not. Then the goal for the prospect. They need to know what's in it for them. What benefits them by working with you. Then you have your homework. In essence, your reps need to cancel bad or fake leads because you're going to get them. I don't care what industry you are, you always get bad or fake leads. And you want to make sure you're going through all the leads to make sure they're high quality and you're focusing your time on the people that are super qualified that you should be closing. So the discovery call. What's your goal for the discovery call? Well, it should be that you want to get to know them on a personal level. You want to understand what products they're interested in, what issues and problems they have, and how you can help solve them. The goal for the prospect is to understand their own problem, because if they don't understand their own problem, then you're going to have a bad first call because they're not going to really know how you can help them. And usually companies don't have issues with that, but you want to just really emphasize what problem they have and just double check with them and make sure you have the correct one, because if it's wrong, then throughout the next steps, you're going to be wasting your time. You want to be making sure that you teach them about the solutions you have to offer and how it can help with their problems. And then the homework assignment is usually at the end of that discovery call, you want to give them a questionnaire to them that they fill out so you can better help them. And you want to start developing the next steps, which would be a call within 7 days or a week or 2 to review everything that you've learned for the strategic plan. And with the strategic plan, your goal should be to demonstrate the business case and the cost for the products and the services that you're selling. You want to show them step by step how you can work together to eliminate objections. You want to create a sense of urgency by wowing them and showing them how if they don't move forward, they're losing time, they're losing money, they have to end up doing wasteless cycles. So in that way, they don't just need your solution, but they need your solution today. Because if there's no sense of urgency, they can just move forward in a year or 2 from now. And when they think that they can do it in a year from now, chances are they'll forget about it within that year and never call you back. Goal for them is to know what is the best and next steps. They need to gain an understanding of what is the spend going to be and what is the exact results I get from spending that. As for a homework assignment, you want to recap the presentation by emailing them what was discussed, a recording, any action items. If you record the presentation, let them know in advance before you record that you are actually recording it. And if there is any way for them to just purchase right then and there without contracts, you can just send them a payment link. For a lot of people, it ends up being you send them a contract. So for my business, once we're done with our strategic plan, we send out a contract right then and there so that way they have time to review it, which then leads into a decision meeting. And you want to identify and resolve any main objections that they have left. You should have identified and answered any objections or a lot of the main ones on the strategic plan, but still what you'll find is sometimes people will still have the same objections over and over again. That means you're not doing a good job explaining the solution. And if that's the case, try a different way to explain the solution. You also want to ask for their commitment and identify the next step if they're not ready. Goal for the prospect is to understand the plan and the expected deliverables, what they're exactly going to get, how it's going to work, any implementation or time or cost. And homework assignments would just be onboarding, starting the start date, figuring out when it's going to happen, and of course the welcome email or kickoff calls. Well, now that you know how to close B2B leads, the real question is, where do you find them? LinkedIn is often an overlooked sales tool when it comes to B2B marketing. People just think it's a place where you can go and push content, but no, it's an amazing place for lead generation as well, and it's great for sales reps. They have over 690 million users. Almost all B2B prospects can be found on LinkedIn. I want you to check out the Sales Navigator from LinkedIn, and it's a great way to help you find your target audience. You can look up things like keywords, position that the person's in, like their title, like a VP of marketing or a CEO or CMO or COO, the industry they're in, their interests, their groups. This will all give you data, and you can use this data to tie it into your CRM and then start shooting them off emails and messages like, hey name, I'm looking to expand my network of marketing professionals. Would you be open to connecting? Sounds simple, but a lot of people will accept that. Try that out. Copy me. You don't have to come up with anything new. Just use whatever's already working for me. In sales, everything is relationship based. Leads take a while to close, whether it's 90 days or 120 days. Don't be short-sighted. Focus on the long run. Help people out. And if you want to stay and connect with them and you want to be top of mind, your profile is super important. From your headshots that we already discussed to writing well thought out descriptions to breaking down your skills, your endorsements, your education, all of that's super important. And if you don't do this right, it's going to be harder to close these deals. So if you haven't done this, go check out the last lesson where I broke all of this down, and you can find it at neilpatel.com/training. Just click on LinkedIn Unlocked, and it'll help you prepare for next week, which we're going to go over setting up ad campaigns, building your organic reach so that way you get more followers organically, setting up a step-by-step approach to reaching out to influencers and connecting with them, and of course, case studies so you get a good understanding of who to follow, what you can learn from them, and how you can replicate their results. Last minute action items for you, go to neilpatel.com/training, click on LinkedIn Unlocked. This is week 1, the last video lesson in there, and underneath the video you'll find 2 action items. I want you to download and track your leads with the B2B deal tracker, and I want you to download your B2B script and modify it based on your products or services. Thank you for listening in. I look forward to helping you crush it on LinkedIn. Next week, we'll have 3 more lessons for you. Thank you for watching.